And welcome back to Gay2K. It's me, JP, and I'm here with Sarah.
Hey, everybody.
Okay, I am really excited because I have a very, I have a trivia question for you. Okay, this is a fun fact about me that I don't know if you know this fun fact, but okay, I need you to guess the name of the reality TV winner that I had a little make out with.
What?
I'm gay. I'm gay. I'm gay. I'm gay.
Oh, that's funny. I have
Okay.
that's not even kind of an idea. Like what type of competition show?
I will tell you, it's competition. That's all I'm going to give you right now. It is a competition show because if I give away any more, but it is a winner. So can you think of, I guess, like, who would you think would be the type that little old me could get a
This is
winner?
I'm stereotyping you. I'm like maybe for somebody from Project Runway, or maybe a Drag Race contestant. Why am I doing that? It doesn't need to be that.
Oh my gosh, your strategy.
Andy Herron from Big Brother.
Okay, I will not reveal the answer yet. So, are you locking in with that is...
We're about his age. That's all I got.
Okay, so you're locked in. So Sarah, you're locked in to Gay2K reality television. Let's go in about reality TV, talk about all the good, the bad, the ugly, and the gay of it all.
So, if we go back to the early years, I didn't really watch reality TV show. My dad was like, that stuff's fake. It's not worth it, blah, 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 blah. But my wife, who is like the smartest person I know, loves a good escape into reality TV. And so when we were dating, I started watching Big Brother. And that was the first season I really remember like sitting down to watch all of was Rachel Riley. And I was like, what? This girl's crazy. I love her. I don't know why. She's a mess. What is she even saying? She's not even aware of what's going on in this house. She's just saying things to say them. And then I was like, oh, I get it.
Well, knowing what I know about you, you would have dated her back in the day. Like that, I could see that, like in high school, you'd be like,
oh my God.
Can you believe what she said? I'm like, yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, she said that. So that totally makes sense. Oh my gosh.
I'd absolutely have a crush on Rachel Riley for sure. Absolutely, I would have in real life and all of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm gonna, I think we can look back at the Rachel Riley renaissance of last summer. She was on the latest season of Big Brother, and for me, I'll go into my connection to reality TV of it all. But I was definitely like, who is this? What? Okay, whatever. Oh, you went back in 2012. Whatever. You're not one of the OGs. You know what I mean? Like, because for me, reality TV was big when I was like ninth grade. Right before I came out as gay, I could have been on reality television. I was like, this is the way I can live openly in secret, Mm-hmm. But then I changed my mind and I turned my back on it. So getting to see Rachel Riley actually play the game, I thought it was a tragedy the way that season unfolded. Season ended fine, but what they did to one of the queens of reality television,
Yeah, mid-comp elimination, that was wild. That's not even Big Brother.
It's insulting. Yeah. No, it's like literally like against the rules of the game. And then someone was like, well, it happened in the reindeer games. I'm like, that's a spinoff. Okay, spinoffs, you can do whatever you want, but the integrity of the game must remain.
Oh man.
Big Brother along with like Survivor. So for me, 2000, let's go. I like to always let's go back there. State of the world. Television at that time, the biggest thing was like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right? And so I just remember, competition, quiz show, winning money. Like there was this like thing around America where it's just like, you could win. Like, it's so easy to just tell us what you know. And then we had shows like The Weakest Link, and the pageantry of it all is what really like got to me. I was like, oh, this is like bright, this is shiny, this is fun. Faye, did you ever watch any of the trivia shows? You're a trivia buff.
Yeah, I do. I still love Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. There's been multiple reiterations along the years, and there's currently like a Jimmy Kimmel celebrity one that pops up every once in a while. So yeah, no, I love, of course, I did watch that competition show. It's not really the same as the reality competition shows, but yes, I do. And I do remember The Weakest Link. You and I have talked about The Weakest Link a little bit before, talking about RuPaul's famous non-answer.
Shaka Khan.
Yeah, Shaka Khan.
What I really liked about Weakest Link was, for me, that's when I was like, oh, it's a competition within a competition, right? So the idea of like eliminating people, and so I remember like that was kind of just like the mood and the vibe was just like, you get rich on TV, but trust no one. Like, so that really leads to then Survivor dropping in the year 2000, and this was like for me, I was like in middle school, so everything happening on TV was the biggest thing in the world, right? And so I remember like, oh yeah, it's the biggest thing in the world. They're taking people and they're putting them on an island and they're making them compete for $1 million. Like, it disturbed me but intrigued me, and it just sounded like this free adventure that they were like, this charity started where they're gonna give you a chance to fix yourself, go on an island, win some money. So yeah, this was like biggest thing on television at that moment that summer. Like, where were you? Were you watching?
No, like I said, my dad was like, that's fake. They're probably not even really on an island, which is not true. Okay, like I am, and my wife will be like, you do that too, if she's listening. I like to call out the production elements, right? It is a produced show, and even more so in the later seasons, they like kind of stage some of the foliage to look prettier than maybe how it would naturally fall. Okay, but they are physically on an island. They are physically sleeping on an island. There is just things about it that would not film as well, and perhaps maybe production leads people to other talking points. I don't know. If you ask somebody so many times in a DR if they think this person is out to get them, maybe eventually they catch on. I don't know. I don't know what the actual production team is asking. That's part of the mystery, but I like to speculate. That's part of the fun for me, is like, I think production is pushing the narrative in this direction.
To me, it sounds like you have trust issues. No.
With reality TV, yes.
I totally agree with you. That is, again, part of the reason why I love it, is that there is that production element. I love like making things happen, and so for me, it's, do I want to play the game or do I want to create the game, right? But yeah, Survivor coming out, it was also like where Survivor intersects with gay history is that one of the players who ended up the eventual winner, fat naked gay guy, was just like a phrase that was like around in the year 2000, because he was on the show and he would walk around naked, but like he wasn't even really like again, like you're looking back in time, it's like, this is like an average American body, but he wasn't in the nude, and they did blur it, but the 2000s aesthetics, it was so pushing that thin, everybody, that's basically, not a size 0 was plus sized in the 2000s, which is crazy. So yeah, that the body shaming of the late 90s and 2000s is still very much alive when Survivor starts. Oh, yeah. Like, it reinforced everything. And I just remember, like, as a fat gay kid, I wasn't naked or anything, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, is that what I'm going to grow up to be? And like, just kind of feeling like everyone was like, at the time, it was like, oh, this pervert on TV walking around naked, he's a fat gay guy, like that. Which is
crazy, because if anybody was watching the show, because I very recently rewatched the first season, in preparation for 50 just to watch it. And like the narrative that CBS and the network put out was basically like he just exists and that's okay.
Yeah,
And there's
yeah,
that
yeah.
one like older guy that's like, I've never met a homosexual before. And he says homosexual like that, I swear, like straight out from
Yeah.
those kids in Mean Girls, in the
Well,
opening of Mean Girls. Homosexual.
oh, yeah, well, I think that because that's the origin of it. Because I think this was, when they say landmark television, right? And so I think television creates the conversation, but then you watch it and you understand like, oh, and he wins. He won $1 million. He beat them all at their like. He had everyone wrapped around his finger, like. And that's what people want to see in their winners, right? Like, I think people, like, we love the opportunity, but if you're gonna win it, you better earn it, right? And I think that season proved that, like, oh, like, it's great. Like, hey, had he not won, it would, like, have been kind of a dud of a season because it would have been like, oh, like it doesn't matter. Like we built this great story arc narrative, and like we had the homophobic Rudy, who then at the end of the day he's in the alliance and goes to the end with the fat naked gay guy. Oh my god, that was boomers everywhere were losing it at this. Okay, back in the day, I'm gonna let you know it was a nuclear bomb for them.
So did you watch any early American Idol? Have you watched any American Idol seasons?
If you're truly my friend from high school, you will know the question. Yes.
So I was trying to set it up.
I love your investigative journalist. Barbara Walters, thank you. Yes. See, production, reality. Like, this is reality television.
Yeah.
Like,
so
we're producers.
Talk to me about that time that you discovered somebody's journal. But before we get to that, just your
American Idol. Okay, so before I give it American Idol, I do have my trajectory, right? I'll connect all the threads. So you got Survivor is big, and then that same summer Big Brother comes out, and the first season of Big Brother is terrible. It's so lame. Like it's watching in real time was like maybe interesting because you could see this thing just kind of collapse like as it unfolded. And this was like beginning of the internet. I didn't have internet at home, so like I had to go to the library to like find out about these TV shows. Like it was the augmented reality. It's like I can watch this on this screen, and then I can go to this other screen and I can learn more. And so then, I just kind of like followed both Survivor and Big Brother, like at least like the first like 3 seasons. I think like through like maybe senior year when I was like, nah, kid, grow up, stop. Like
we were just also like busy. Like that's the thing,
like I just got busy. Like I literally got busy, and but definitely it was that like I'm too grown up for mainstream television, But American Idol comes in at that same time in 2001. Okay, this was after 9/11, so we have the Survivor, competition, Big Brother surveillance era, and then 9/11. Then we have to go back to patriotism. So we got to find our American Idol, and that I think it's just that elimination element of it. It wasn't like. I mean, the music was okay, but I was always such a, I think we all were contrarian. We're just like, we like to listen to things that no one's listened to. And American Idol is for the girlies. It was pop, like,
my wife loves American Idol.
Again, this first season is landmark television. Because I remember
whoever that second host was, I don't even remember, but there was two. The show started with two Ryan Seacrests.
Brian Dinkelman.
And they got rid of him.
Well, so the reason behind that, okay, because American Idol came from Pop Idol, the British show. So Pop Idol debuted first, and they had a duo host, Ant and Des. Like it's British. Like so, you had Pop Idol come over and become American Idol. And again, I love when America is captured by television. I think as a kid, that was the coolest thing. And so then we could vote for American Idol. And this is around the time when I got my Blurty. Okay, remember Blurty? You turned me on to Blurty. And this was. Because before you could get on LiveJournal, you had to be invited into LiveJournal, but you had to cut your teeth somewhere. You had to go to an affiliate blog. So sophomore year, I remember, I was like, I can share my thoughts with the world. So I remember just writing about American Idol and ranking the contestants, and you know, I should pull. I did a gayness score. I remember for each one.
Does
oh
Blurty
gosh.
even still exist?
Well, if you know me at all,
You kept it all? Yeah, okay. I
Well,
love that.
That's a whole different episode. I can't talk about this. This is too much. But I have all the receipts, every single receipt of mine.
That's perfect. You're your own historian. One day, when they write your autobiography, you will have all of these sources for them.
They'll have my hot take on American Idol. I knew Kelly Clarkson was going to win. Called it from the start. Justin Guarini, everyone was like in love with him. I feel so bad for him because he was pretty much he was being primed as like, this is the next Michael Jackson, like, and then Kelly was like this natural like talent where it's just like, you gotta give it to her. She's too bright. She's beaming. Like America won't believe us because America voted. Like,
yeah.
It was, I think if it wasn't America's vote, Kelly Clarkson might not have. Justin Guarini would have won if producers had their way. That is not even my hot take. That is my conspiracy theory.
Oh, I absolutely agree with that. I also know, later American Idol gets into controlling the votes by like teaching people how to spam vote. I'll talk about that. I have the Adam Lambert season. I have some conspiracy theories about that.
Oh my god! Well, do we want to just keep an American Idol? Like,
we can keep. I can say, because we're talking about it right now. His season, I don't even remember the guy that won's name. He wasn't that impressive, but people from American Idol hosted multiple large parties in his hometown, and they taught people how to spam text voting. And they told everybody, you need to be doing this. They did not do the same. They did not go to Adamstown and set up events and do the same. So they basically like weighted the vote in favor of the straight. Is his name Chris?
I'm trying to look. Who is this person?
But he doesn't matter. I mean, like, whatever. Great, good for him. He won American Idol, but he's not Adam Lambert. Adam Lambert was a big talent and very different, and his voice was unique. And they're like, that guy's gay. He can't win right now.
Well, I think even go back to the first season of American Idol, shout out Jim Ferraro's first gay icon, who was just this teen boy who was singing. And so it's kind of like, you can't be a teen boy unless we know who you're having sex with or who you want to have sex with. You know what I mean? So it was like, you can't, it's like, I'm just here to sing a song. And Jim Ferraro was actually outed through his live journal. And I remember just like, again, being in this like, multiverse and seeing like, oh, this poor kid, like they found everything he said and now he's like the first gay guy on American Idol and he gets eliminated. Like he's like top 7 or top 9 or something. But then Adam Lambert comes along and it was like, before Adam Lambert, Clay Aiken.
Yes, can't forget closeted Clay Aiken.
So deep that like, and we didn't want him. I think at Chew Talk, it was kind of just like, you gotta do better. So, Ruben stuttered all the way.
Ruben stuttered.
I'm sorry for 2004. That's the song, right? I'm sorry. But yeah, the Adam Lambert controversy, because this was 2009, I believe. This is when Gaga was coming out. Like the gay was happening. We were involved in music and wanting it, and we see this guy that can deliver that, and he had a huge fan base, and straight women loved him, and I don't know. I think it was rigged. I highly think. I believe so too. Just even looking at this season, like it was clearly like Danny Goki. Who's that? They were like, we gotta get like. And, maybe that's how America should solve all of its problems is by American Idol. I don't know. Like, we got it right once with Kelly Clarkson, right? We can do it again. But it's been great to see Adam Lambert's, like, career evolve. Because I remember he released an album. He had a song from Gaga. Like, I mean, we can go into the pop culture of it all later.
Yeah, I saw him. We went to see him at Stir Cove, like, it would have been like 2011 or whatever when his album was out. It was fun. He's a phenomenal. I mean, obviously he's a phenomenal voice, but like, you know, like some people like you like listen to what they sound like on the CD and they sound just like the same or worse. Like Adam Lambert was like doing different harmonies and all of the things a great vocalist would do with their own music just for fun. Like I was
Ooh.
like, whoa. Yeah.
I want to propose something. What if we could bring Adam Lambert back for like some sort of competition reality show? Do you think that would
Oh
be
my
a good
god, that
idea?
would be fun. Oh
Okay,
yes, Adam Lambert's
so-
on the list. I don't know
Okay.
what, but he's
Okay,
there.
Adam Lambert, you're coming back for All Stars, okay? Because yeah, let's let America, because we can go in American Idol, and that is there's so much to say. But I'm gonna go back into the timeline to get us reoriented. We're American Idol, and then for next thing I can think of is just
Project Runway,
Project
and
Runway and
America's,
Next Top Model. We were saying the lines together because it's so produced. But yeah, no, that was reality TV for gay people. Because then you had like, okay, gay people need something to watch. We gotta like create a separate reality TV for gay people. And Project Runway, that was. I feel like you were more of a Next Top Model girly though.
So yes, begrudgingly, I will admit that. I mean, I'm bad at fashion in general, but as John Paul already pointed out, I have had a weak spot for a hottie with an attitude who is loud and just says stuff my entire life. So Tyra Banks and her shenanigans on America's Next Top Model pulled me in. Like I watched that documentary and I remembered all of the stuff that they were saying that was crazy. Like when she pretended to be like fainting and then fell down and jumped up and said, "Acting." I remember watching that when it happened and being like, "Oh no, is Tyra okay?" She's wild. And if you haven't watched it, go watch it because there's a lot there. We could do a whole episode on unpacking that, but we're not going to. But yes, that era was wild. There were lesbians on that show.
Oh yeah, no, it was definitely giving us queer before we had like a word for it. Like,
and the Jays. Miss J. Alexander and Jay Hernandez were everything, and they were the stars. Sorry, Tyra.
No, and honestly, that's as like a young gay man, queer kid. That was one like respect was. I was like, oh yes, these are older queer men that I could aspire to be. Like, I don't have to be the fat naked gay guy on Survivor. I could be the fashion designer on Top Model or a fashion designer on Project Runway. Right? It's again creating these specifically queer lanes for kids, which I think like not necessarily for kids, but just for people. But I think that's good, and like there's like we can look at things, we can be critical, then like I do think we should always be like, okay, well, there are landmark seasons, there are things that like happen. It's when you try to replicate it 25 cycles later, Tyra Banks, that you realize like, oh, like we're just exploiting, like so yeah,
So
that
when
was
I
definitely
think of queer contestants, Kim Stoltz was openly lesbian on like cycle 5. And she had that like classic like Tegan and Sarah, Justin Bieber haircut during her audition. And of course, Tyra always does something extreme with makeovers. And but still basically, I mean, because her hair was short, so they couldn't do anything other than that. And so yeah, she's very queer the whole time. I definitely would put her in an iconic bracket of some sort.
Oh yeah, just I think for for having short hair on a modeling show. Because I think with Tyra, it was just like, this is ridiculous. Like every single, like it was always like, can you believe this person's a model? Yeah, I can't. So that was always
see this crazy tomboy,
Yeah.
which she's not even. But yeah, like whatever they can do to, put down this woman who is slightly more masculine than the other women.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and just like whatever they could do to like whatever you would do to win. So this is again this reality TV like that attitude that kind of just permeates America is whatever it takes. You gotta work, bitch. Like Britney Spears was right because that's what we did, and you had to do any reality shows if you want to get ahead, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, there was some. I mean, I know. Well, I mean, Christian Siriano from Project
I was just thinking of
Runway.
Christian Siriano. Oh my
He
god.
has to be like, if we're making a Hall of Fame or a list or of people to consider,
Absolutely.
he's on there.
Um, yeah, no, I just remember that season because Patrick Renee had always been like had gay contestants. Like it was just fruity from the beginning. That's kind of again how people talked about these other shows, you know, like as they were happening. But I remember when Christian Siriano was on, it was like, oh, he's gonna win. It was like we're actually like this is great representation. And I think he has been in that he's just been a consistent like powerhouse, you know, just doing what he promised to do as America's next top fashion designer, I guess. Is that the project?
Yeah.
But one of my like the thing with Christian Siriano is he really did popularize. You know,
I know where you're going.
But T slur, right? We'll say it. Well, this is Gay2K, right? But there was an SNL skit, and like I could talk about this. Like this is a Hall of Shame moment. I was like, we got to put the SNL Kristen Siriano skit in some sort of like. But that wouldn't have happened if he didn't win Project Runway. So I think culture moves depending on who wins reality TV shows. I guess like that's the theory.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that's fair. I mean, absolutely. Yeah. Oh man, we've been all over the place. We've went from like the primetime shows to a little bit of the cable shows. If we're talking about cable shows, though, I think we got to talk about what's going on MTV and VH1 at that time, because around that same time, you have, well, I mean, we have our gateway to Miss Tiffany New York Pollard in the VH1 dating show. I love, yes, perfect.
That's my Easter egg. Yeah.
I love Flavor of Love was gross to me because Flavor Flav. As a young lesbian, maybe even not out, I was just like, this isn't real. People aren't attracted to this man, are they? I'm confused. And what's crazy is he's a great guy. Like now, like the more I know about Flavor Flav and how he's supported women's sports and has always been supportive of women, like I'm like, okay, like he's a cool dude. But that wasn't what the show was about. The show was how hot he was and how these women wanted him so badly. And like,
I think it's
because it was a spoof of The Bachelor, which we're not going to get into.
Oh, okay, thank you. I was like, where did Flavor of Love come from? But yeah, you're right, The Bachelor, and I agree.
Yes.
We don't talk about it on this channel because
I mean, if we wanted to take a deep dive into the queer people who have come out of The Bachelor later, I think that's a different thing right now. And I think the reason that I see these shows fitting in more with what we're talking about is because the end game of Flavor of Love, while it was to fall in love with Flavor Flav, was also fame, really. That's what the end game of the VH1 reality dating shows really was. Nobody was really going to fall in love with Bret Michaels either on Rock of Love. They were going to get 15 years of fame in some cases.
Yeah. No, I remember when Flavor of Love came out. Yeah, it was uncomfortable for gay kids in some way because it was again this compulsory heterosexuality, but it was like over the top and it was dramatic. It was scandalous. He gave all the women like nicknames, which is how Tiffany Pollard becomes New York because she's from New York, right? That was her name on a game show. She's lucky she's not Pumpkin because there is a contestant named Pumpkin who is her nemesis, right? And so, like, I think that's kind of what I enjoyed about it because it was just so ridiculous that, you know,
I mean, they're all
Thing 2, there was a contestant named Thing 2. Buck Wild, like... So I think
yeah, she has her own spin-off because this feud with her and Pumpkin is so good, and New York is the best part of it. She has her own spin-off where she then also gives those guys crazy made-up nonsense
Oh
nicknames.
yeah.
Um,
One thing about like discovering stars, I think reality created this new platform for you could say the influencer, but just personality. I think New York is just like she's just not even acting, she's reacting to the world around her, and we're just documenting it because when you go back and watch it, it's like, yeah, pumpkin spit on her.
yeah,
Like, New York
for
is
real.
acting within the realm of the universe they've agreed upon, right? New York is like, this is the rules of engagement. Pumpkin deserve what she got. No, I'm sorry, I don't know, but like, she spit on her. Poor Pumpkin. Like, what? Like, I'm just gonna be like Tiffany New York Pollard. I'm gonna stop talking while I can.
Oh, but she's so good at just making those moments that were absurd about her so quickly. And it's a brand that she's like perfected and she's taken into the current reality series House of Villains. And she's so good in House of Villains that they can't do the show without her. She's been back so many times because they just can't wrap their head around how to make it work without her personality in the mix because she is so good. She says some crazy stuff about Omarosa.
Oh, that
Oh
like,
my god, she's
that was epic.
Oh.
Well, talking about production, I'm sure New York is like a producer of some sort. I'm sure like New York's like, yeah, I'm on the back end because she should be. I'm thinking just like New York quotes. There's the one where someone like wishes her break a leg.
Yes.
She's like, I'm not gonna break a leg. I'm gonna get the part.
Yes. And then they cut to the producers of the show like sitting down with her, telling her that like that's a thing that people say to wish people luck, and she's like it like dawning on her, and she said I should break my leg. That's gotta be fake, but it's so good. I don't care.
Well, I think it's again, just New York reacting to the world around her because, if she's not in the environment to do like theater, if this is just like, this is a woman that Flava Flav really liked and again kept around. Like, the thing is, like, she is only here because she also won. Actually, she came in second twice.
Yes.
She came in second twice. Like, so, and I think that's part of like the being in on it, or the production element, where it's like, oh, like, I know how to do really good TV. I'm here to have fun. I'm here to play. And that's what makes a superstar. Okay.
Yeah. And that's why she is where she is now. And she's been on House of Villains, and we're in kind of like a New York renaissance.
Well, any show that we do, New York is just a contestant. So, like, if we're building some sort of like fan fiction, fantasy based, New York has to be a contestant. So
yeah,
that's the rules of the game. Okay, New York has to be.
Yeah, there's not a world in which we can have if we're talking about the best of the best of anything related to reality TV, we can't leave out New York.
Ooh, that is a good segue to what could be the worst of the worst. Because right after this VH1 train, we had a little show called A Shot at Love with Tila Tequila.
Yes, why? Oh, MTV. Okay, we're not gonna dive too deep into like the real world or road rules. There are a few people from those platforms that I might want to mention, but the whole, I mean, they're all the same production company. They have been even before CBS bought them. MTV, Nickelodeon, they were under a company called Viacom, and the Shot of Love with Tila Tequila was their somebody saying like, "Oh, you guys should do a gay dating show. You should do a gay dating show, or do it different." And MTV said, "What if we found a perhaps bisexual and put both men and women in the house?"
Yeah, well,
And
because this was even like the big twist of it, to where contestants were like, it was revealed that they're competing against opposite gender, and so this was like, there's men and women on the show, which I think, you know, you call it landmark television if you want. I think the rules of it was still like, I don't know, it's I think a win for bisexuality for sure.
yeah, and I think that people that hadn't been exposed to the things that we had already been exposed to, I've heard from people that have been like, Tila Tequila was my awakening. And it's like, Tila Tequila was your awakening? Is my initial response. But I'm like, you know what? Like, that's their reality.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, if that's
Well, I think
what
when
you
this came out, we were
Yeah.
like, so advanced for our age, right? That like
On the gay
we-
timeline, especially, yes.
Yeah, that so like we could already kind of see through what we would assume. Again, these production elements, the you know, people pursuing things for, you know, fame. So I think, yeah, that definitely did kind of sour like why I didn't want to engage with this show. But no, I think the concept is fun. You know, I'm just like, actually, like, that does sound like fun. You know, I could, you know, Tila Tequila herself is not like a New York legend status.
No.
And that's, I think it's, yeah, it'd been a shot at love in New York, maybe, you know, but Tila Tequila, I don't really know much. Like, I just know it got dark.
Yeah, I don't know. And then they did like there was a third season that wasn't Tila Tequila. It was still called A Shot of Love, and they were like twins, and one of them was straight and one of them was bisexual.
Well, and so I do like to think of this era as like the death of reality television, because it's towards the end of the first decade, and it just becomes a reality industrial complex, right? So then it's just like we're just churning out hits. We're just, you know, and every now and then you'll get like a Rachel Riley in the mix of like, oh, these are actually good contestants, but they do kind of become the market becomes oversaturated, because by this time we're like, how many American Idols in, how many Survivors in, how many, you know,
10
shows have come and gone. So
And yeah, reality TV has persisted and changed, and there are things that have been added, and a lot more like just a day in the life kind of shows that are also overly produced, but we're not going to talk about the Kardashians. But we could, but we're not going to.
Oh, no.
That's a whole other thing.
You know what my hot take is? I would turn the channel, okay? I would change the channel. That is my hot take. Okay?
Fair. I don't think I've ever seen... I think because I've been around somebody watching it, but I've never like intentionally watched a whole episode of any of those Kardashian shows.
I couldn't tell you. Because, yeah, no, I made a discovery, because I was like, okay, if so Tila Tequila is the end of the first era, we have to reconcile the timeline. RuPaul is the genesis of the second wave of reality television, right? Because this is RuPaul's Drag Race comes out in 2009, but no one expected it to really do anything. So it wasn't like VH1 could have been on this from the beginning. They could have gone from Tila Tequila to RuPaul, but they didn't. They didn't have that, you know, they didn't have the knowledge, the talent to really deliver. And this is how you get RuPaul on logo, right?
Yeah.
So RuPaul, who like is now left VH1, they've upgraded RuPaul to MTV. You know, looking back at 2007, 8, they wanted nothing to do with RuPaul. You know, so I think we can thank RuPaul for, you know, making reality TV queer for everyone and really kind of ushering in the, you know, gay dominance of reality television now. You know, I think. Gay, what did I say the other day? Reality TV wasn't always gay, but gay people
Save reality TV.
Save reality TV,
which is the best thesis ever. Like, and when you think about it, it's like it was never anything they intentioned, and it goes all the way back to Richard Hatch. Like, it's not like they put that show together and they're like, we're gonna find a guy that's different than anybody that people would see in their normal lives, and he's gonna win Survivor. They didn't know that gay guy that was naked that everybody was watching because he was naked and weird gay guy was gonna win the show, but he did, you know. So yes, it's that cyclical nature of this thing happened. It was a hit because of gay people. It faded out because they probably stopped focusing on gay people, and then sometime along the line, I mean, they were never intentionally focusing on gay people, but sometime along the line, gay people become like a thing that should be a featured contestant again. And all of those CBS Paramount reality shows are like, oh, we need gay people again. And you're right, you know, the timeline, I can't say it's like RuPaul tipped the domino, but she at least was part of like lining them up in the rows of look at all these dominoes that got to fall to have a hit show. Gay people are part of that again, you know. So,
oh yeah, just creating like a universe, creating things to watch, creating lore. You know, I think Drag Race really kind of encapsulates all the good qualities. You know, it's a little bit Top Model, a little bit Project Runway, it's a little bit Survivor, and that there's eliminations. You know, we're having, you know, confessionals, and it's creative and aesthetically pleasing. Like those, I think, are just like really, you know, important elements to just good television. And I just to go back to the Survivor of it all and talking about producer influence, like they were influencing Survivor in that the producers wanted to keep Rudy the old man, and it just so happened since he aligned with Richard was safe then they didn't touch his game. But there's a whole lawsuit with a third contestant who like proved that, oh no, they influenced my vote because we were gonna vote out Rudy, we were gonna vote out the old man, and she had the two young guys on the tribe on, like she was gonna ride with them, but then they got and so like this the whole legal thing, like there's like you know Stacey Stillman, you know,
and
but
reality
I think
TV still does that. They tried to even like I'm sorry, upon the lawsuit thing, I'm going to build up on it. Amazing Race recently had a contestant that's suing them for misrepresentation, representing him as a villain. He's a man on the autism spectrum, and he would say really harsh things out of pocket, seemingly to his wife. Well, they never once showed very many moments of him talking about his disorder, and he claims that there were times, and that he, like, you know, like they were misrepresenting him for the sake of building up a villain narrative. And it's, so like, yes, we know there's documentation that production's still doing the producing thing.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, you know, caution anyone who's ever thought about doing a reality show is that they will use what they can because they can. And that's, if you give them, you know, something that they can spin, why not? Like, you've signed your life away. And so, like, I can understand where that man's coming from, but I think, you know, it'll be a really hard case to prove against Paramount, Skydance, whoever now, that they were in the wrong when, like, you signed that contract that said that we could do, we told you that we were going to take these terrible moments and do whatever we wanted with them, you know, like, so yeah. And like, if you're lucky enough to get a good story, like, but if you're not, like, it could just, that's why I did not finish my Traders application, everyone. I couldn't go through with it. I just was like, actually, I don't know. I was like, I was going to get involved with production because I would witness something like, you can't do that.
Yeah, I would be a horrible contestant. I mean, I think I could do it, like, but I would be a contestant that production would be like, I think we need to get her out of here.
Oh, I totally see that. Oh my God.
Be like, we should unionize. That would be me on Big Brother. I'd be like, we don't have to take these shitty conditions. If we all just don't do the comp, they'd be like, get her the fuck out of here right now.
Oh, they would Rachel Riley you so quick. They would find some sort of challenge. It just like, oh, you can't do this. Sorry, you gotta go.
The like voice that comes overhead would just be like, please refrain from talking about contractual elements.
Well, I'm just thinking of Traders. I just imagined there's Alan Cumming and there's the Black Banquet and Jam Jam Survivor winner is one of the contestants, and he's sitting there, and they're going to reveal who was murdered, and he was like, "It's you, Jam Jam," and I just see like, "It's you, Sarah." It's just like, what? Why did Alan Cumming just come in here and point and say you're out of the game? Because that's how Jam Jam felt, you know. Yeah, no, I think reality TV is in a good spot today. I think if we really look at the number one show for reality right now is Traitors. That's, I think, our top tier. You know, and I think even without the gay representation at all, because we can go into it and we will, I think it's just, for me, it's fun enough. Like, it's not something that, you know, I think is a perfect every time, because it's a hard game. You have to lie. Like, I don't think people understand, like, how difficult it would be to just constantly engage like this. And but what they create is entertaining. It's fun. You know, Alan Cumming, I'm glad to see him as, like, a RuPaul-like figure in the culture. You know, this feels very like he is the MC. Like, I'm like, okay, thank you. Like,
and I mean, when we talk about personas, like, that is such a persona. The people who have only ever seen him in Traitors, like, are like, it's Alan Cumming. He's this intense Scottish guy, and like, that's not who he is, really, right? But that's the reality TV persona of it all, and he's so good at it. He's so good at it. Oh yeah,
but just Traitors, I think they've done a really good job of I think keeping interest in reality TV alive, and it's been by casting, you know, people that queer people are interested in. Like, we had Bob the Drag Queen was one of the
and it has
Traitors on season 3, you know.
It has the amazing multiverse effect that it I was gonna say, I also have a way more interesting so I'll start it by telling my less interesting reality TV related moment. So I was at the Los Angeles, California airport, and I saw Nani Gutierrez and Olivia Kaiser from MTV's The Challenge. And they were getting ready to go to film season 40. So I knew that, like, I clocked, like, the timeline in my head. I was like, they gotta be, like, why are they together? And so then I approached them, and I was like, season 40, huh? And they were like, Olivia was like, we'll see. And I got a picture with them, and Olivia went on to win that season. So
oh, you're the good luck charm.
Yeah. Good thing she saw me at the airport in Los Angeles.
I mean, honestly, like, that is butterfly effect stuff right there. So
yeah, you know. Who knows? You could never know. Yeah. What is the who is your little friend?
Okay. So, my little friend.
Your friend?
Wow.
Your makeout buddy? I don't know.
So
the one person you made out with one time? I don't know. Okay, sorry.
I love it. So we're going to go back. So the question is, which reality TV winner have I made out with? And your guess was?
Andy Herron from Big Brother.
Winner of Big Brother. Okay, so you can stay. I'm going to give you more information, and you can are allowed to change your vote. Okay, so because I have receipts, I have confirmation. Okay. This individual tweeted the next day this tweet. Spent last night three-way making out with one of my best friends and a large bear dressed as Mario from Super Mario Brothers at a queer dance party. Being gay is fun. Do you want to change?
I don't know.
Your answer.
I'm gonna stick with Andy Herron because I don't know. I'm sorry.
Sarah, you're a winner.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow, when you got it that first time, I was like, did I tell you this already?
No. Here's where I wasn't even in the realm, and then something in my head went, who would be into John Paul? Like, definitely, like, who would see John Paul and be like, that guy is my type? And Andy Herron was the obvious choice. Like, I could just see him seeing you across the bar and be like, look at that cute bear. I'm gonna go whatever. But